a discussion from carryover from before. I got some news and shit. Look,
Yeah.
they on. Hey there.
Yo, what up, dog? Blazing there, homie in the house. Welcome back to Dead Man Talking, the aftercast, after show. They like to type there, so I guess that's what we're going with now. I don't know. They have completely
What?
changed it. But I am with the one and only Jamie Madrox.
Hi, it's me again. Wait, what happened now? What happened with the aftercast? Is it not good or what?
I think it was cool, but assuming that they have not got word here because it still says Dead Man Talking, the after show above me here.
Really?
It's okay.
We're working out the kinks. You know what?
I'm gonna roll with it. We are gonna.
You know what? No, we are gonna roll with it. But
we are here. We are rolling with this.
We have the only reason. You know what? The only reason why I'm not being too harsh about imperfections and things as of late is because there is so much on the plate right now. Things and inner workings going on behind the scenes that I'm actually glad that we get to just be here and hang out with y'all, even if it is for an hour or 2 hours or whatever the hell it is, and just chop it up with you. And
right.
Yeah, man. We were talking about that before we started this. Remember the hotline?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Damn. 10 minutes a day.
Seriously, can I be honest with this? Can I tell people out here, we chopped it up about the hotline. And what's crazy is this is kind of like a visual hotline in a sense. There's some stuff we kind of move into, but it's different because we were just talking about how sometimes the hotline, you guys would think it is 10 minutes. It is 10 minutes, right? But
it's true.
Madrox, can you tell them, can you school them about how long said hotline sometimes would carry over to take and how long it would actually be for us to do this hotline that was 10 minutes of everybody's day back in the day? Can you school them?
Because of my excessive need for OCD and to have everything be just so particular, so to speak, it would take up to anywhere from an hour to 3 hours at maximum to do a 10-minute hotline every night. We would pick out music and formulate things, and we only had one take at it. So in essence, it was live for one moment, in 10 minutes, not one moment, for 10 minutes in time and in a continuum in life somewhere. It was live.
Every night,
we did record it live.
Night. Yes.
But 10 times, 20 times live, and we just kept erasing them until we got the one we were gonna literally tap out and say that's the
true.
One.
This is
so real.
Yeah.
And it was
100%.
It was our integrity, my friend.
Hey, for sure. But I mean, it brings us to what is today. It's like it's a whole different scenario. We don't really have music to bump off right now.
We don't.
We'll get to that at some point. But
well, here's the thing with the platforms. With a lot of the platforms being the way that they were or that they are, really, it's like music can be flagged instantly, which can be a hindrance on your video being showed. And there's all types of technical ramifications. We use a big word like ramifications that you got to follow.
Ramifications.
Criteria. And things like that could clearly help, not necessarily help, but not to lay things in your path that would just obstruct you getting to the people. So we chose to be sans all of that shit to be able to just be here live with y'all. And we do appreciate the comment section and everybody chiming in.
Yeah. Because it's a whole different scenario. We talked about this. It's a whole different thing. Like we used to have to go in there and listen to all the messages afterwards because people used to.
He glitched up. It happens sometimes.
So different times. Who listens to the messages? We did an awful lot. We listen to the messages on a hotline all the time. So this is kind of like now a new thing where you can actually get messages right to you as it goes.
And that's crazy because you're absolutely right. We employed people. It was part of two different people. This is real shit. This is a part of two different people
because there were so many messages coming.
Yeah, you had well. Here, check this out. we learned that the hard way because we didn't know it would only hold 100 messages.
Right.
So we would have a day shift and a night shift. And even to be honest, had we would have put one more shift in the middle, we probably could have got 300 messages a day. That said, we settled for 2 because we were really had our hands full with that and would pan through and basically make up the material for the next show, the next day. So if somebody was having a birthday or some juggalos was getting married or whatever the case would be, they would shout it out. Hey, Madrox, hey, Blaze, man, can y'all throw us up in the sauce, man? We, blah, blah, blah. And we would do that. We are fat and wax and all that kind of shit. So yeah, man, it's hella fresh to be able to kind of, for lack of better terms, to kind of maybe blow the dust off that format a little bit and bring it in a 2020 fresh step.
Right. This
right.
Is true.
This is kind of different. It's different. I you know me, the live part is just like, oh. Because like I see things better when I can add things to them and make things be the way it needs to be. So
yeah, sure. I mean, it's
reality.
It's easy sometimes, but sometimes with what they're talking about, the glitching type things, I see people say that.
Even like that, like you digitize from time to time, and it's like, but what are you gonna do?
Dealing with the same type of thing though, like everybody deals with this shit. So it's like it's one of them things you're just gonna have to deal with the times. Everybody's on the computer. So
for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I bumped up my speed. I got like the highest speed in this bitch, y'all. I'm like surfing real high.
He said he got Barry Allen speed.
Yeah, like way up in there. I'm surfing like on top of the wave and shit. I ain't going under, is what I'm saying. But somehow, sometimes you still get a glitch on my end. Whatever. Maybe that's just my dogs going crazy upstairs and they get in the way because their brain.
I don't know.
I want my dogs to
I was running your motor, man. I was with it. Golly.
I had to get it off, bro.
I have a few topics of discussion that carried over from what we had.
Yeah, let's do this.
I have some news. I mean, you kick it off. You let me know where you want to go first, but we have some things that we can talk about. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. All right.
Oh,
take this random question. Huh?
Like you thought he was
what?
No.
All right, listen. No, I have a random question here. Okay. What superhero would make the best horror character?
Oh.
It seems like a simple one, but I wanted to throw it to your mind because your mind thinks differently. So let's see what you say. I mean, I have an opinion already, or a preconceived opinion.
To me, I'm already going to say that I think there is one that there's a couple that they could make. Like I was going to kick this to you last week, and I don't know if I got to it about talking about the Doctor Strange movie.
Okay.
And because they're going to a Doctor Strange movie and they had to push it back to 2022, I think. And they were talking about it being like, it's a horror movie, their first one. And I wanted to ask you, like, because I have a list of people I think would make great characters or great horror movie characters. But one that's outside the box is Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah. You know who hates Moon Knight? Mike hates Moon Knight. Why hate Moon Knight? Mike hates
he's outside the box. But I'm going to say the person that I think that probably would make the best one because he could play it a different way would be probably Deathlock.
Deathlock? That's different.
Because that's different. In a sense, like a cyborg who doesn't want to be remade. They use him and remake him into this person, and then he's basically a killer. He's just murders things. So it's like he's kind of the version of a bad Terminator, right? Like Terminator gone wrong. So he doesn't, in effect, care about nothing. And he's kind of tortured in the fact and now he's I don't know.
If this was a hotline, I would have started again. See? Look, he's laughing, but it's real. That's real enough. I'd have been like, let's start it again, dog.
Right.
That's twice. You done glitched twice. We got to start again. But that's real. We'd have been already 9 minutes deep. Like, do it again.
Yeah.
God damn.
All right, let's go back.
no, but
No,
I
for real.
understand what you mean.
I think he would make a good a character, and you know they already tried to do with Blade with Johnny Blaze with Ghost Rider a little bit. They tried, but they don't go the right end on these movies. But I'm telling you, the my fucking hope and dream, and it might happen because crazier things have happened, would be to see, because there's so many different universes Marvel now. Maybe it's Marvel zombies. Maybe
I mean, that could be
Spider-Man
cool.
with his leg half off and Captain America with his head lopped in half and he carrying it around. Fucking a dead Hulk, dead Incredible Hulk, zombie Hulk.
I could see all of that, and I'm gonna
Marvel
go with
zombie.
I'm gonna go with my
horrible.
my always given answer. In animation, anything can happen. So I would give that to that. And the only way I would ever see the light of day in reality would be if it was legit. The people who do the films would get together with the people who do Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I believe those two
sure.
forces could make that a reality. There's no question.
If they did that,
but if not done properly, it's going to be a shit show.
But even if they did this for like a cut in between, like what if they're in the Doctor Strange movie and they cut in between? Because Doctor Strange can go through it's called the multiverse of madness, right? So within the multiverse of madness, there's got to be a multiverse where they're the fucking all zombified characters of Marvel. All of them.
I mean, in theory, you could be anything.
Or at least 4 or 5 of them, right? Right.
Just I wanted to be like anything you want to keep cool, Tommy boy. No, seriously though, but in theory, because it sounds so ridiculous. I've never been a theory, but I will say this. I've never been a fan of the theory of all the multiverses. I never was a fan of that, but I think it's cool. And the only time I've ever seen it properly done to make me eat those words was Into the Spider-Verse. That was a palatable idea that wasn't so much like it gets so ridiculous to keep track of who comes from what fucking galaxy. I have hard enough time figuring out who the fuck your aliases have at the time. Like, I'm not that invested.
If they do it, they gotta like cross past it and just see it for a moment. It's like being it's like going to like you're Superman and you see Bizarro World for the first time.
Right.
Where it's Superman, and like, somehow he's got freeze breath instead of heat vision. He's got
and after like the third or fourth gimmick, you get everything's reversed here. You know, like it takes just enough to make you feel like you're a detective. You know, like all right, no, I get it. It's like
it'd be cool.
That's to see why
that extra, just for a flash. If you're rolling past them, they could have did it in some sort of in a strange way in one of the fucking Thor movies too, like the last one with the Hulk, because they kind of crossed that up with Hulk's story and the Thor story. And
what I always thought was cool with Marvel, at least as opposed to DC, but when Super Friends kind of made like a bridge for me for this, because I wasn't like heavy into reading all the storylines as per se, but with the fucking
Johnny Dead's got to leave in 10 minutes. Bye, Johnny.
Damn, Johnny Dead. Appreciate you for hanging this long, bro.
Yeah,
have a good one today, man. Take it slow. All right, but like in Marvel, the idea that Spider-Man and Iron Man and all these fucking people live on the planet, but then if you leave the planet in a rocket or whatever, and you go out in outer space, then you got shit like Guardians of the Galaxy and all that kind of cool shit. And that was what was neat when it was comparable to how they had Apocalypse and you know what I mean? They had Darkseid and shit like that,
I get you.
What?
It's hard to bring in a multiverse is what you're saying.
Because it gets crazy to me, because at some point they're going to try to bring in the microverse, which is where the Micronauts and Ant-Man and his whole the place where
I don't know.
Ant-Man can go, basically.
I think maybe me and you are both behind a little bit in some of the stuff because we haven't seen the last Avengers movie.
I haven't seen all the movies, but I have a grasp on the concept of they're trying to rebuild the MCU in a certain way of how it will go forward. And some of the ideas are.
I think part of the thing is that I think they might introduce some of this micro because they did in some of the stuff with Ant-Man a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something there. So I think they go further into it, and I don't think we really went. I don't think I've seen the next logical step is probably in there, and we haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's starting to feel like, it's like a salad bar. There's Western verse. You know what I mean?
No, that's it.
Verse.
Like, I'm just saying, I'm trying to what I'm trying to do is I was trying to stretch you into my imagination of where I think you're going. You asked horror movie for them.
Yeah.
I said logical step, in my opinion, is going to be the Marvel Zombies. But
that's great though. No, that's a valid answer.
They could
that was a valid
answer. They could do Son of Satan. They could do that movie. They could do Midnight
honestly
Suns.
think that I was going to say
they could do that too with every a lot of incarnations of people that are in there.
I thought the definitive answer was and is the Batman Who Laughs. Like that is the answer. Like he is. Like if you made an actual theatrical, even an animation of that.
I've seen a Blade.
Great story.
People said make a new Blade movie, but I've also read people talking about make an actual movie that is Hannibal King, that is the real character that they created as him, not really the way they did it in the movie there, but the real character that they use in this comic book, which is a little stronger, I think, but they just kind of needed to play off of Blade because I don't know what they were doing, but they were trying to move. Maybe they were trying to branch off.
As far as what are you talking about, like what Whistler or whatever his name was?
No, remember Whistler's daughter and Hannibal King?
Oh, yeah. So Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Alba.
Yeah, in the comic book, Hannibal King's a different kind of character. He's more like a Constantine-esque dude, where he's kind of like that vampire or whatever. But he kills vampires because he was turned that he didn't want to be, and he's like more of like a detective, something like that. So it's kind of like it's different. It's more everybody said they should probably use that incarnation of him, but instead they made him more like the funny guy to Wesley Snipes kind of like character. So it's like in a sense they both make good characters, but they should just because I said I've read some of this about what they thought would be good for some of their movies and horror, and the one I didn't see on there was Marvel Zombies. I saw all these other ones talking about like Midnight Suns and different ones like a new.
That's crazy because a lot of that was a lot of that was the old Ghost Rider, Morbius, and
that's
and,
it.
And they said
it would be great to do that. They said Morbius, Ghost Rider. There's a couple different characters that would fit.
Well, that was. I think
that'd be cool to see.
You have to fathom the idea that at some point that was part of a bigger plan because clearly they already led with the Morbius movie.
Maybe, but I think what they did with bringing Nicolas Cage, I mean, bless him as an actor, but I just didn't think that he could have carried it on for a generation to continue doing these new movies when you're adding new characters. You're basing it on a guy who looks too old to be Johnny, Ghost Rider right now.
But in theory, a CGI fucking ghost head in his voice, you know what I mean? And
that was great.
He's probably of stature that he could play out the character. I think he'd be a fair MCU cast to ride out Rider. I
don't hate on. Like I said, Nick Cage is a great actor. He's done a lot of movies.
He's passionate. What do you want? He's passionate. Let him live. He's passionate.
But I mean, truthfully, he's a Superman fan, and he was at one point gonna be.
Now, if you were saying that he should play Superman. Right. If you were saying you should play Superman or an unmasked character, then I would say all that you said. But the fact that it's a CGI skull.
Are we forgetting about when he was cast as Superman and he was almost going to be Superman and they already?
No, we're not forgetting. We're trying to repress and forget.
All right.
We're not forgetting. We haven't forgotten. We're just in and out. In and out. Because the pictures of him with the Kentucky waterfall and the V-neck with the taco meat and he's got the big Superman and he just looks so not right. You're just like, that's not fucking Superman. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you can be who you coming from a guy who dresses up like Batman. You can be whoever you want to be, but on the real, he did not. It was not. He did not. It was not. So there's that. We need to get a picture of that next episode. That needs to be the logo for the aftercast. It's just got to be him in that fucking suit with all that happening.
in it.
Like it's just missing a medallion. It's just happened.
Nicolas Cage.
He needs to be doing that kind of dance. It's Superman.
Fucking next level.
Damn, it's Disco Superman, everybody. Up, up and away. I love it. It's
yeah. I'm telling you, it's wild shit. Yeah, I'm saying. So what do you think? That's your thinking. What's your horror film? You said you were going directly.
I said I'm going with The Batman Who Laughs. I think that should be made into a movie, and at absolute least an animation. I've seen some really good one, like The Court of Owls, and there's a couple really good DC animations where if I was them, I would so like up my animation game and just keep staying the course, because literally it's like what's happening now with the whole MCU and stuff. I guess like recently Rob Liefeld like lost his shit in an interview, and basically, yeah, I guess he's upset. There's a surprise, but something about I guess they're no longer having or considering Deadpool in the MCU, and he's like questioning the guy's vision for what it was and the representation or lack thereof of his character in the MCU, and just and the direction that they're going. Supposedly, everything has a more of a.
Don't get me wrong. Is this another one of those Fox and Marvel things? Because wasn't Deadpool in Fox or something? Is that what it is?
I'm not quite sure if it's so much that is it was,
or is it like he's Marvel and they're only letting him use certain characters and they like he pairs well with these guys.
No, I think it's
we got to buy the rights to use these two characters. I don't know. I'm just wondering.
No, I think it was
a great character in itself. Both of his
for sure. Because there was even talks about a Spider-Man and Deadpool crossover movie, which would have did very well because obviously Deadpool would have represented for the adults and then Spider-Man would have been the young kid.
Spider-Man name, even though they kind of, with the Into the Spider-Verse, they already proved that there's obviously multiple verses with Spider-Man, so you could do anything, right?
Right, for sure.
Multiple verses, yes.
Multiple verses. Yeah, no, 100%. I just
Okay.
That's crazy. No, but the information that I heard was more like kind of third-hand conversation shit. But I think what it was leaning more towards is the creative direction that they're intending Marvel to go with the MCU is more of a different approach, and characters.
Oh, okay.
Characters of a grittier matter will not be in the new, clean, polished
Bronco Juggalo
persona.
Deadpool 3 was canceled. And
Bronco 2, thank you for understanding what the fuck I'm trying to say.
And a lot of opinions. People are saying the Deadpool Spider-Man movie would have been fucking amazing.
It would have been. That was a great comic book line. You know what I mean? Just like
Charred
series.
Yeah. For real. I did not see. What's your opinion on Venom 2? I did not see Venom 2. I did not see fully Venom 1 yet, so I can't speak on it. Did you see the Venom movie at all?
Venom movie, I seen it.
What do you think of Venom 2? Did they bring it out? What's your opinion? What do you think?
I don't believe it's out yet. If anything, there might be some stills that have leaked or conceptual fan art that's really killer. But I don't think only thing that is really was leaked that to my knowledge was at some point the guy who is Venom, I don't know his name, the actor.
Yeah.
He had tweeted a picture of Woody Harrelson, who is going to be Cletus Cassidy. He tweeted a picture of him because the last time the scene of the other movie, he had the silly wig on. So everybody was kind of like, where's this going? So they posted this badass kind of, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or whatever the fuck it is, kind of Hawaiian shirt look of Cletus Cassidy, and everybody just went fucking apeshit. And it was like, okay, that's more what I'm looking for. And everybody kind of got back on board. And that's all I know. And I've heard that we're supposed to be seeing a trailer, but I don't just want to see a logo appear and then some sound foliage and some spider webs. I want to see the motherfucker come in and say some words,
me something. Okay.
Right. I haven't seen any of that yet. So I like the first movie. The first movie was okay. It had its ups and downs. It did what it needed to do. It made an entire generation of people who may or may not have been ignorant to the character say, hey, pay attention, look at this guy. he's pretty scary. He's just like Spider-Man, and basically
Right,
flesh him
right.
out in the first, whatever. It did its job with that. I had issues. There were some parts that were kind of like meh, but at the end of it, you feel good. You smile, and you're like, okay, I hope the next one we can jump right into this shit and skip all this kids table shit. You know what I mean? It's like jump right into the action. But a lot of those movies have to do that. They have to start off with that fucking telltale, backstory movie
and do some stuff. Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough sometimes. I seen somebody say Nightmare Entertainment said he wants to see a Blade versus Punisher movie.
And that would be really cool. That would be really fucking cool.
Fats got Carnage versus Deadpool. He's thinking.
That's insane. I don't know.
There's a lot of crazy shit that could be happening, obviously.
For sure. Oh, no, for sure. There's a lot of great storylines that are going on now currently. I don't get to read them all, but there's a lot of cool places on the web where you can get, comic intel and stuff like that. And I like this one called Comics Explained.
All right, hold on. I got a question. It's been coming through for every show.
Coming through.
Yet, Nick English. He wants to know Hulk versus Grundy. Who do you got?
Are we talking Solomon or Colton?
It's Solomon all day.
Okay. Hulk versus it? Come on, dude. Hulk.
Me too. Hulk all day. I love Solomon Grundy, but he is born on a Monday and he dies on a fucking.
He's already limited. His expiration date is ticking right now. Yes.
Coming out a week every fucking year, every year. What the fuck? That's what it is.
Right.
Love
right. No, agreed.
They don't call him. They call, I mean, come on.
I'm sure, and to be fair to his question, he was probably hoping on it was most likely the battle would take place on a Tuesday when he's been around already. He's not quite ready to leave, and he's full energy. It's like, Solomon Grundy on a Tuesday versus Hulk, just like, let's get it, Like, I can imagine. That could be fucking crazy for sure. I would definitely buy it, pay to see it, whatever. However.
Wild, man. That's wild. That's a good one.
I think that's what was so cool with some of those. Like you told me about that animated cartoon, Planet Hulk, which was pretty much like the whole premise of the just some of those scenes where you see.
It's got a close hinges to like some of the Thor movie.
For sure,
they got to use some of that stuff to put in there, but they just changed the way it was set up, and it's not. You know what I mean?
I just think it's kind of a cool nonchalant jump point for a lot of people who to get familiar with Beta Ray Bill, who is rumored to be in some of the upcoming shit because you see him. He's dope as shit, but you see him and it's like up to that point, if you're not hip, you just are like, what's up with Thor? Why does he look weird? Man, and you're like,
almost killed this dude.
Yeah, man, he don't fuck around, dude. He's badass. And when you look into his backstory, he's pretty badass. I can see why he's a fan favorite.
He is that strong. Like Hulk is that strong because he couldn't control himself anyway. He's uncontrollable at that point. He is just a raging beast of a Hulk. And you got, you know what I'm saying? You got fucking Beta Ray Bill, who still has some sense of himself that he's trying to get him to stop. I know you, Hulk. We know each other. We're friends.
He does.
Like, oh, I will get you out of here. He's like, no.
Unreal. Just absolutely unreal.
It was level, bro. That's like that was.
It's good shit. No, it's. You have to fucking, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Google it. Fucking watch it. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube or something. When you're done with this, Google right over there and check it out. It's pretty intense watching them two go at it, man. It's like those kind of deals. That's
yeah.
It's like when you seen, Palpatine zapping, Luke, or when you seen, Captain America and Iron Man clinking up. You just see those epic sides, just in that great fucking moment of action. And those are just killer scenes that you just can't. Sometimes I say you can't recreate them, but I just named 3 of them that clearly recreated the epicness. So I guess it's a completely recreatable thing.
Yeah.
Another random question. This will be unless you have more. This will be my last random question. Somebody wanted to know Jason Voorhees versus Batman. I mean, I know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to let you say what you want to say first because I want to see how well you know things or your thought patterns and see how they work.
don't think that this is like a trick question, but I would have to say that it's going to be Batman because
Agreed.
Batman is he is a detective, true first and foremost, and he's
My
not
man,
just
name.
the world's greatest detective. He's not just
Yes.
any detective.
Yeah, right. He's
world's
not just
greatest.
any old
Like
gumshoe. He's the
Sherlock
world's
Holmes.
greatest.
Sherlock Holmes has nothing on Batman himself, the man.
Well,
Like,
it's argued that they are on an equal playing field,
I would have
but
to,
I disagree.
I strongly disagree because when
Good.
it comes to it, Batman also doesn't just have, he has gadgets and creations that, or he uses stuff and his money to make things happen as well.
Yeah,
so he doesn't
sure.
have to rely on his own brains that he also has that are just super powered. That's what he really brings to the table, in my opinion. He knows. So he is going to figure a way to stop Voorhees some way.
Agreed.
The water that
Endgame.
they made it look like in the Freddy vs. Jason movie, then he's gonna fucking splash him with the water or put him back in the water.
As soon as he figures out that he's afraid of water, it's game over. Just like Freddy.
Batman would do. This is me. I think Batman has the money, the means, and the willpower to go to said Crystal Lake, dig up area, get water from there, put it into some tank, bring it back to the Batcave, and keep it chained in the Batcave inside of a water capsulized fucking thing where he's just gonna be like sitting there inside. He come wave at his ass every time he comes back. That's just.
I love it. I fucking love it. I love it because I just had like three thoughts all at once. One, air Crystal Lakes with real Crystal Lake water and the fucking come on.
Oh my God.
Two, you know, Jason's just gonna fucking come in there with his mind on just cutting anything down in his path. He's not thinking rationally. Where Batman's like hiding in a tree and throws batarangs at him. He's got some kind of trap sprung so he can figure out how he works. And you know, it's like, yeah, dude, game over, Batman all day. But it would be crazy to see Jason wild out machete swing at him and give him a little, you know, jump around action. Make a great.
But the thing about it is, it's like Batman has faced crazy before.
He has. He has. I mean, the lights,
and he's seen crazy too. He's seen like that he's didn't
come on, Killer Croc, Bane. Bane is fucking out of his shit, especially when he gets on that jump.
Was Barbara not molested by said Joker at one point?
It's implied. It's implied.
Was Jason Todd not beat to a bloody pulp death by same Joker? With
that is on the hands of the readers because they gave everyone fucking DC gave everyone a hotline number and they said, does he live or die? And them motherfuckers called in and he died. They thumbed down him. They thumbed him down, bro. They RIP'd him.
They straight up killed him. Like what the
man
murdered him?
They gave the people. They said, "Let there be blood."
It was 100% on the people. You're right, and they did. They
no, because in my mind, as a person who like, I would like to think that DC was at a good place in their publishing or shit, their whatever you call it at that time. That they probably had it worked out where they had both page panel stories, whatever issues done where he lives and done where he dies, which I've never seen that. Like, because I'm sure by now that probably would have came out in some sort of a reprint or a publication, which would have been a great read as well. Like to see the alternate, we're talking about universes, the alternate universe of what if he wasn't beat to death with a crowbar and left to blow up in the building. So you can get that iconic scene where Batman's holding him crying and, you know, like, what if?
Right. That's it.
You know,
I'd like to see that because I mean,
he said I like to see that too.
No, I like to see it because it sounds like one of them takes on like them stupid them books back when we were kids that had like multiple
this way book or whatever, this way or that way or something like that.
Jump in there and you pick the adventure, you pick the shit, and it's like you can go.
Right. You're at a fork in the road. If you want to go left, turn to page 17. If you want to go right, turn to page 12. And then it just keeps giving you, those are great. And it's like because it leaves the fate and the destiny in the hands of the reader, which is kind of neat. That's a great. There was a movie or a television show that came out not too long ago like that, where you could like go through it and pick what happens to the people with some sort of online experience. I missed out on it.
Next level, that's the way to go. You
for sure. I'm serious. He done glitched up.
What if you created that movie? Am I back?
No, you're good. You're good. I was like, he done glitched up. Now, what is it? What is it?
Yeah. What if you created that movie or that series, let's say, that does that in a sense, because at the end of it, you can choose to wait 3 episodes and watch the next one, and it still catches up to where you are.
That could be crazy. That could be crazy. And that was the thing. And I think that's what that's what got. I mean, going back to the whole the Robin dying and whatever. Going back to that, that's what got everybody kind of pissed, because it seemed like it became a trend. It was kill a character, bring him back. Remember the death of Superman? Sure. It was a big deal. They sold all these.
Sometimes it made sense to do cool shit. Like I was reading, because I read a lot of that. I think it was 52.
New 52. Yeah.
That thing, like I read that whole shit, and I thought it was very interesting because, like I said, it was just the way they set it up. It was the same shit. It came off a very obscure character. And everybody knows Elongated Man and Ralph Dibny, and his married to his wife at one point in the comic back when some other guy was a kid, and now he's grown up and writing comics, and he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking use that as a base to a story. Like he was
crazy
by Dr. Light, and then Dr. Light fucking his memory is wiped and suppressed by fucking Satana.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's neat.
Like, they go as far as to say that they wipe Batman because Batman will not be able.
No, it was rumored that he was the only person who didn't have his memory wiped, but he initiated the help.
No. He was. He had his wiped. They had to. They fucking pulled him and wiped his memory or some shit. It was wild. They did it. It was crazy as fuck because he would never let it go. Like he wouldn't let it go. He's like, come on, Batman's. He's too pure for
crazy. It's crazy. Listen, what I was gonna say, which I think you said something about a guy going back and like taking another person's storyline and taking it. I think that's neat. Like a lot of the creative writers and some of the people who are coming up now in the writer game are I think it's neat how they go back. I said I think it's cool how they are going back to see or find a point like that whole connection between Moira McTaggart and like the Houses of X and Powers of X and all that, and how she may actually be the person. She may be the person who's fucking at the thing with the New Mutants. The movie that's coming out. She may be one of the doctors in that facility. And if that is, that's crazy shit. And it's just like,
that's cool though. That's what they need.
It's neat. I think it's neat when they connect lines like that in the universe. I have issues with the fact that, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were supposedly kids of Magneto, and then he dies in the one, but he's existed in the other timeline. And
I always thought
it can't all be perfect, Blaze. It can't all be perfect.
They messed that up a little bit. That was kind of weird. I also they crossed up too many pieces of the X-Men at one point to try to bring different characters of X-Men into one to fit their scheme of what they got going on. Like this beast and this beast, old beast and young beast. It's like it just got too convoluted. Like I remember,
I think it's neat how the one that the newer series where it's I don't know any other fucking names, so I'm horrible with names, but the guy who's in the movie with all the personalities and Mr. Glass and all that, the crazy beast, he's the beast. That guy, he's also Professor X.
He's Professor X, James McAvoy.
Okay, thank you. That Professor X and then that Magneto and basically that cast, that younger beast and all those guys, they just recently made a series of pops of all of those, and I thought it was pretty cool. Although Pop has that Funko Pop has that blank format, they managed to really capture just the real subtle mannerisms of these actual actors in these pops, and it's really fucking cool. And if you are a fan of that movie, you definitely want to know about those and get a pre-order in, because I don't know how else you're going to get them. So get ahead of it before.
I'm telling you, it's like it's crazy because like what they did with the characters. Like I watched the most up to date one, the one with the Phoenix. And
I did too. It was
they don't seem to like stick to the comic very enough, to where Marvel does a little closer. There are parts, like I said, where they tried to get a great story and they pushed Planet Hulk and Thor movie together, and bang, they get a Thor movie, and it was good because it was.
He done locked up on us, y'all.
Superhero.
There you go. Damn, he gone. Holy shit. Damn, no, he back. He back. I was like, damn, he gone. Holy shit. I was just about to go into my news. I was like, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to let y'all know this here little news.
Yeah. Holy well, kick it. You got news time. Kick that shit.
I got some news. It's important shit, but I just wanted, we were talking, man. It was good. I think that's the kind of shit that motherfuckers like me want to listen to. If you're listening and watching to this, like just, the ideas and concepts and how people's minds work and what they think about certain things, especially things that we all share in common. X-Men, Funko Pops, the shit we're talking about, zombies, Marvel. Good stuff.
I'm reading a couple of comments. I got a couple of people talking about it was McAvoy and Fassbender.
Okay, that's the names of the actors.
That was the guy who played McAvoy played Professor X.
Professor X. Yep. Okay.
Fassbender played Magneto.
Thank you both for that information. Thank you. Yes,
I thought they were pretty good, but like I said,
for sure,
the same thing where they're doing. They have Beast. And they got, he's not bad, but they're not only using the characters for the best what they are.
I think one of the most powerful scenes, at least for that dude as an actor, and I don't know, I mean, I'm assuming they had him on a harness, but the scene where in the newest X-Men movie where that guy she's mentally making him get out of the chair, and you could just see how unusable his legs are to him and how incapacitated he is. And she's like marionette puppeteering him up. And there's just something really creepy about that scene and just like the sick delight that you're supposed to, that she's gotten, showing how she's turning to the dark side. And it's just he's like, please stop.
Their problem with everything is they try to make this show like the Phoenix Saga all into one movie, as opposed to like stretching it out to making it what it should be, like 2, maybe 3, because it doesn't start just come out and blow her up and now she's a bitch. It's like she comes out as like one of the most powerful beings ever that helps people for a little while. And then
problem
of it, then she turns into this fucking dark character because this thing has always been inside her. And yes, Professor X has always tried to taper it and keep it locked up. And then it does come out. And she fucking blows everything up. It's like I think the world. It's fucking more serious than they make the shit out to be. And every time it's like,
no, and that's what I was trying to say. I think that the problem is,
the first one they made it a love story between him and her and fucking Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. And then this one they made it a different
triangle, sir. It's a love triangle.
It always has been. It's been a triangle, but it's not. They play it out more than it does in the comic book. In the comic book, it's playful. In this, it's like they fucking are making it like it's more out to she's gonna bang him, but she's really banging Scott. It's like, no, she's fucking with Scott Summers the whole fucking time. She has flirted with Wolverine before. That's what it is in a comic book, right?
She's sassy.
Man, I read the goddamn thing before.
I get it. No, what I'm saying is that those characters it's because people are so very passionate about them that it doesn't seem that anybody can do them justice. Right. And that is the problem with X-Men in general. With Wolverine, Wolverine got the pass. Wolverine has been Wolverine for like 8 fucking some years now. That guy, Hugh Jackman, has been Wolverine.
Right.
And he's an iconic, legendary. He will probably most likely be remembered as this character for the rest of his living days because he had such an impression on the character and was played so well.
He looks most like the guy. He looks most like him. The only thing that he doesn't do is say bub a lot and beat people.
But that's cool, though. That's cool. I can live without him saying bub all the time.
Right, that's cool. That's cool for me.
How you read the word bub and how it sounds out loud, it sounds a lot nicer just reading it quietly in your head. Because nobody really is attacking you being like, hey, bub. Like, no. I never really got that. But I get, like, the idea of him being fucking going full berserker and all that. Yeah, those are a lot of the things that people can fucking like. They're like, I love that character. He's insane. But,
I mean,
what I'm saying is with all the other movies, particularly, they all seem to fall away from the intended goal. Everybody had a fucking problem with Apocalypse. What a great storyline. That could have been everything. And they made it not what it was supposed to be because so many people have these characters that it will hold so deeply in their heart on a high pedestal. And when they get an opportunity to bring it to the foreground, it just, to them, it's amazing, but they don't have the love of that character. Right off the bat, everybody who first seen that was like, the proportion's all wrong. He's supposed to be towering over these people. He's like one of these, you know, what are they called? Eternals, or he's these big fucking, these gods. He's no way. He's just this regular human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But that's what
we
it is,
all
man.
liked, you know, Elektra. I think everybody agreed that that was a great cast with Olivia Munn as Elektra. That was great. Well played. You know, she looked great in the costume. I mean, everybody, you know, for what it was worth, it was just like Psylocke. There you go. What I say, Elektra?
Elektra.
I'm high, man. I did say Elektra too. Damn, I played her like Elektra, man. And not even Carmen neither. Damn, not even. That's fucked up. Well, before I get any more fucked up, let me say my news. Just looking at the time quickly, and I apologize. You're right. That was good. Thank you for catching me on that. That is true. But yeah, she was thank you. It's your show, god damn it. No, but it was good to see them, like I guess, for what I'm trying to say is it's always cool to see when somebody goes outside of the cavalcade of characters. The more obscure, the better. You get used to seeing the same old people all the time, but you still love them forefront. But that having that supporting cast and being able to reach out, I think that's why Deadpool was so cool. And why it hit well both times, because although he is the merc with the mouth, if he doesn't have anything cool to play off of, it's just going to be a quiet ass movie. You know what I mean? So giving him those elements, the characters, good shit. Anyway, in the news, NetFest on your couch, the free preview, Saturday, May 30th, 2020. Okay. Yep. Now, I want to let you guys know, because we haven't talked about this on any of a whole time we've been on here today, going on almost 2 hours. Okay, so I want to just make sure we touch on some stuff that's important before we leave you. Okay, by Friday of this week, we will have a list up of people, performance, and more news about actual names and people who will be actually participating in NetFest. Okay, there's that. Yes. It's going to be featuring the best of the best in the underground scene. I will say that, as well as celebrities, movie stars, and other guest appearances, as well as exclusive interviews, and of course, performances by you and me and Monoxide. Yeah. And it's really cool. It's something different for us.
Him.
Hey man, I was there too. It was me. It was crazy. Let's talk about that for a minute, because I also want to say that do not forget, because this is a big thing that to me is not being said enough. So I want to make sure that I keep stressing this. Very, very important. I want you to know that you will be able to watch this on Astronomicon's YouTube channel. It's very important to know the location of this hashtag free per view. Astronomicon, you see it right there on his shirt. Yep, I seen it right there. You do. And on there, and on that YouTube channel, you will be able to get to see the pre-show and the show as well. And what we want you to know is that it is going to be exciting, it's going to be entertaining, and it's going to be a first of its kind. And I also want you to make sure that we would encourage you greatly. I can't say this enough, and I'll say it again as we get closer to it, but I can't say it enough. We want to know that everybody is at home watching and having a great time. So we encourage you to take pictures and videos of yourself and post them with hashtag NetFest on your couch and or hashtag free preview. Just letting us know, man, chiming in, sound off your couch, letting us know you getting it, man,
All I got you better be at home singing along with me. God damn it.
You better. I need you elbow length. I might not need you with a mask on in your house, but I need you elbow length, and I want you all to be ready. Get up off your couch. I want you guys to be ready, because it's gonna be a really, really great experience. That's the only things that I don't know. I'll ask more of those questions as we get closer. I just don't know how long it's gonna be available for. I know it's absolutely free. I just don't know that it's going to be something that's going to hang around forever. I haven't figured that part out yet. We will look into that. So I can't encourage you strongly enough to focus on Saturday, May 30th. Mark it down in your calendars and in your little address book. Put a little reminder on your phone. Right. You know, sticky tabs on the mirror works. Any and everything. We'll be here to remind you as much as we possibly can.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. But talk about let's talk about how it was when we went to go and record for the free preview, man. It was crazy. It was all these people with masks on and gloves and camera crews and stuff like that. And it was just like
am I back?
It was very professional. It was very different. And and in our very secret disclosed area, somewhere deep in the middle of the universe, it was cool. There was an actual like stage. It was great. It was. I don't want to spoil it. I just want you to know that we had a lot of fun doing it. It was completely different than anything we've ever done before. It was a mix of feeling like you were on public access television and you know, just rocking a house party, which was not unfamiliar to us, but definitely different. And I just hope that everybody enjoys it greatly. And I can't even, I'm not allowed to, so I won't give you the laundry list of the cool things that your ears and eye holes will be able to enjoy on May 30th, Saturday, as well on the YouTube. Yeah, Astronomicon official YouTube page.
Astronomicon. That's what we're gonna be. Broadcast.
That's what we're gonna be. That's what we're gonna be putting it down for you. And
see, I glitched up, and when you was talking again, I seen it.
I didn't even hear you glitch. I glitched.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like,
you ain't glitched that.
You know,
he said, "No, hell no."
But for real, like, it was wild when I was up there. It was different, but it was
crazy, right?
It's a whole different experience, and it makes you realize how much funner it is with each and every one of y'all out there.
It's true. It's true because
it is so much more fun. So sometimes it was just like, you know, I realized it is hot. It might have been hotter than than the hottest club that I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it was a very secret hot location.
And if you remember, I'll just say this is probably because I don't know if people even know the hottest venue that I think I have ever played.
El Corazon.
That's close. It has to be the White Rabbit.
Shout out Seattle, Washington, El Corazon.
Oh, yes, you are very hot. It's very hot. But I think it is a White Rabbit in Houston, Texas. Is that where?
Ooh, that's a hot motherfucker too.
Somewhere down there. It is so burning hot. It is fucking ridiculously crazy hot in that place.
Where you could cut out a chunk of air and hold it in your hand, a big old handful of hot ass air. You could feel it. It feel like a 4 pieces of like bread, just freshly cut bread in your hand, feel like some hot ass air, and you're trying to breathe that shit in while you're fucking help me, stop me, help me, no, for real though. You start flipping over shit. Do you want to know about the bombs? Like, fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You got a little bit of that. It was there. I felt a little close to that in some of the locations, secret location, and other than that, it was very professional. And
it was very professional. I was just gonna say, I'll touch on what you said from before. Like it is a very it's not even so much that it's a completely different feeling performing without the crowd, performing without an audience, performing without someone. You know what I mean? And at times,
I've been out there with a handful of people, and I still
but an audience nonetheless. Even if
I would have fucking
absolutely
what it is when it's just by yourself. It's still
100%. Even 6
or not, you still have a feeling like, man, this is where is everybody?
Right. No, I mean an audience of anything, 6 or 7 record executives that are in a fucking office and you have to bust a 15-minute set to show them you give a fuck. You know, an audience nonetheless, but an audience. And it's like,
you got something, right?
So it was different. It was different. You went, hey, what's up, Karen from accounting? How you feeling, girl? Let me see you put your motherfucking hands in the air. This next motherfucker's called John, motherfucker. And Karen's like, oh God, but you're like, man, rock that shit, Karen. You got someone to play. For real, rock the hood, Karen. Like, what the fuck, She's like, I don't know what it is, but it's live. No, but it's like, that kind of shit where you have someone to play off of, or there's some sort of an exchange of energy where we're like, in what we do, it's really great and you feed off of it. So this was a different experience, but an experience nonetheless, and a really fun time. So like that alone, like it just makes me smile, because like it was so cool to do this and make it happen and pull it off and put it together. And I can't wait till you guys see it, and I can't wait till you see how many fucking people are involved.
Yeah,
holy shit,
it's gonna be great, man.
It's gonna be really great. And thank you to everybody secretly for who is involved. We appreciate you.
For real.
You done glitched up now. That's a glitch.
Yeah.
He came back in and was like,
damn it. No.
That was crazy. That was dope. If you could do that on the regular, I'd be like, dude, this guy right here, do the thing. You're like, all right. And you just come back in like, whoa, dude. That's pretty hefty.
All the time.
I also wanted to say, scarily in the last couple minutes, I just want to touch on that too. There's other shit, but not of that great importance. Just to know that all orders are still leaving M&E store day of. You place an order, it leaves the same day. Keep in mind, shit's a little still wonky with packages going out. There's still like this grace period where mail carriers and services are letting packages sit for a couple days, and
they're getting back to work up there. I'm seeing, because my sister had
100%.
hit me up. She hit me up the other day, and she said that she works in the factory area. And she was like, "Yeah, they got us masks and all types of weird stuff, but they're back to work on Tuesday." And I'm like, "Well, good. Stay healthy and do your thing, man. If they want
for sure, no, 100%. I mean,
just do what you can do. Stay healthy in that shit. That's all.
100%. No, I have to admit that I got to give props to all like the postal places and services and stuff. USPS, all of y'all, whoop whoop for keeping shit pushing. We do understand that there are some delays and shit in getting it from A to B, leaving your destination. Even if you leave in a timely fashion, you might not get there in the intended time, but it gets there, and that's cool, because it could be really fucked and you could not have that too. So thank you to you guys for doing that. We appreciate y'all very much.
For sure.
Man, can't stress it enough, dude. Oh yeah, and don't forget motherfucking the 29th of May, Axe Murder Boys.
Yeah.
Fatality. EP drop featuring myself on the track, as well as 6 other brand new joints for your ear holes. Do not miss out. If you pre-ordered it, they're already shipping. So hopefully you have your shit like almost right on time. I can't say it specifically because I really don't know. Again, I don't work for the post office or whatever postal carrier you're gonna serve from. Right. But nevertheless, you get it in more timely fashion. The quicker you get it in, the quicker it'll get to you. So take note of that. Yeah, man, that's what I have. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah. Oh, I got nonsensical news. You want to know nonsensical news?
Oh shit, throw one out. Let's hear it.
You got 3 minutes. Okay. Apparently, the iconic retro snack Dunkaroos is now available for a limited time. I'm hearing exclusively from 7-Eleven.
What? For real?
That's what I'm hearing, man. Word on the street.
You got to go inside 7-Eleven and get you a Dunkaroo.
If you do go to a 7-Eleven and you purchase Dunkaroos, take a picture of us and hashtag that motherfucker.
Yeah, take a picture with yourself with the Dunkaroo.
Come on, man. Tag us in it. Blaze Aftercast, man. Fucking hook it up, dude. Let's see it.
Dunkaroo.
We want to see it. Tag us in that shit. Yeah. Also, cereal aisles are said to be producing a sweet elixir called Lucky Charms Honey Clovers.
Really?
The box is very yellowish, and they are supposed to be made with real honey, and it looks to me like honeycomb with marshmallows. So if that even titillates your
sounds
fancy,
odd.
Then put that on your Amazon shopping list, I guess.
Sometimes you're looking for something different, and that is very different. Like honeycomb with marshmallow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. See, that goes back to that other question on the other shit about what the weird shit you collect. And I know people that legitimately collect limited cereals and limited cakes and shit like that. Yeah, it's an addiction. Collecting things. You were like, that sounds strange. But yes, this strange world we live in, Blaze.
You know what? I was gonna tell you, we got like a minute left. My kid is like to that point. He's starting to watch a lot. He watch a lot of YouTube, you know, different things on there. A lot of kids YouTube for the most part, but he's on there checking out, and he's I caught him watching Marvel stuff now, and it's a lot of the Marvel. It's like the Spider-Man, and it's real cool. But then I seen him pop over to one that was mainly like strictly Pops, and I didn't know if it was done by Pops or if this is just some guy at home doing his own with
Interesting. Oh yeah, okay.
It looks actually pretty, you know, like real. So I think it's like it's probably done by somebody who actually did the shit. You know what I mean? Like maybe
one of the biggest, and it was you know, it was news, but it wasn't really like I don't want to say it's swept under the rug, but one of the biggest acquisitions that Funko made as a company over the last 5 years was they bought an animation company, and they're using it to make all of their teasers. Like if they had a mystery box or something, it would, you know, and its focus is on Batman, it'll be a Batman and Robin short where the character, no one ever talks. That's their gimmick. It's always and the little noises and, you know, you know, that kind of shit. So you know who everybody is. It's kind of done like in a tongue-in-cheek Lego thing, but it's completely genius to them. Oh, you still got 15 though, actually, to be honest with you. If you go 315 to 415, but whatever. But anyway, but it done in the same fashion. Nevertheless, it's pretty cool. And my little, if I had to be so bold as to make a wager, I bet you that within the next 3 years, we'll see an actual full length, either VOD or straight to Blu-ray feature from Funko.
Wow.
Which will be with, you know, an actual property of interest. It'll be a Disney, it'll be a Marvel or Princesses or something, and it'll be them literally their first offering.
Whatever it is, you know, they usually, like I said, they got it down now to where they make stuff pretty well. And it's like I said, what the cartoon that I'm watching for I check and see what he's watching, and the one that watching the Spider-Man one is so cool, bro. It's like I turn my head every time I hear him, and he's no, Captain Marvel, that's kind of like last time when we did that on last mission. And then it's like, holy shit. So he's running with Captain Marvel, and he's showing some mission, and it's against some other guy. It's like it's Venom, and Venom over the hot dog man, and he was like, yeah, Dad, this is where Venom takes over the hot dog man, but then he let him go. I was like, because it's not him, you know. Because he wants to take over Spider-Man, and it's like he takes over Spider-Man for a second. He's like, he wants to take over Hulk, but he doesn't take over Hulk because Hulk, he can't take over. I was like, yeah, because Hulk is two minds, and he gets in there. And, you know, so it's next level because he really got into the shit because of this video game. Like I've started.
That's dope. No, it's awesome that there's a jump point to carry that.
Like, oh my God, I can't get away from the game. Okay, well, let me see what's on YouTube then. I'll watch.
It's crazy. It's a generational thing, but it's different. It's like whereas a commercial or a toy or a cereal would have put us on a brand back in the day, him jumping in, now his jump point was a video game, and now he's like enthralled in a cartoon series, which is enriched with characters that we grew up on, which is really fucking cool that they managed to have stay power and still filtrate their goodness through another means to survive. That's what it's all about. I think that's fucking super cool. I also think that might be the reason where originally intended Marvel had, and again, this is completely speculation, but it originally intended Marvel had a very good cut and dry. Like they would do things like the Zoom Zooms or the Tokidoki, and you know, they would dabble in more kid oriented things. They have their, like, you know, their version of the animated shorts and stuff like that, where things aren't as turnt. You know, there's no crazy killums or people bleeding. You know, like G.I. Joe, they've shot 1 million times and not a single. Oh, they invented the bats so that they had something to kill. Literally, like,
oh man,
the fucking robotic bats would get out of the thing and they're just like, let's cut them down. You know, so it's like they were just made up for something to kill because no one ever got hurt, not even so much as even a scratch. So it's like, yeah, man, I think that's the thinking where they were going more heavy-handed in that regard, and I think that's where Deadpool kind of being the R-rated, more adult-themed character who's more aggressive and very gritty and although that is pretty much the target audience,
right?
They're just like, and I think that was what Rob Liefeld's problem was that they're just like willing to turn their back on something that was so successful twice and basically be like, we have no interest in it. And I'm sure now, after hearing, Rob's two piece and a biscuit on it, I'm sure that Dave, what's his name, Dave Feige, I'm pretty sure he's not too happy. But what the fuck? I mean, it's his creative vision overall, Rob's character, and if I was a creator of a character that got 2 fucking movies, and world-renowned fame, that character and that movie and all the principalities around it changed kind of comics and kind of made it cool again. He glitched on me.
Yeah, gosh, it's true.
I mean, it kind of did, though. You know what I mean? Where the Spawn movie was supposed to have that kind of piss and vinegar, so to speak, and it kind of didn't. But then Deadpool had that, and it was like, okay. And every time they push the envelope and they keep adding these onion layers of reality, like these people, like even, with the Joker movie, like I still haven't seen it. I can't get into it.
I'm speaking of, I'm about to watch it soon. I did record it because it's on HBO or one of them now, and I think I get HBO free because of some service. So I keep that. So I'm going to check it out at one point, but it does look like it's every bit of 2 hours. But I mean, I've heard nothing about all I've heard about it is all social shit, like, oh, the social implications in the movie and what did it talk? That's all I've ever heard about it. So I go into hearing about the movie because I'm like, I already know the Joker, and they're trying to create a character that was, he becomes a Joker because he's pushed to become a Joker.
Yeah, the intended idea that one bad day can make it all go.
Always just doing is the Joker because he's fucking insane. He's criminally insane, and he just does shit because he's crazy.
Well, it's kind of the same issue that people had with Rob Zombie's take on Halloween when he decided to show you the why, and people didn't want the why. Right, they just wanted how. Yeah. I want to know how Michael Myers kills people. Oh, he hides in the dark and then he pops out and stabs them. Well, this is why. They don't want to know why he became Michael Myers. They just know that scary motherfucker that's lurking in the shadows is what they want. Right. And I think which I personally thought that was deep, and it was crazy, and it was unexpected, and it was something cool because he did exactly what John Carpenter told him to do, which is make it your own. And he did, and he wove in the original story, paint. It's like those are the kind of things where I think
there's parts that I like about it, and there's parts I don't. I said the one,
like the kid putting the big ass mask on. That was probably
that was my least favorite part, is the kid with the mask on. And I mean, everybody knows my disdain for that, but whatever. I still doesn't make me think any less.
But the idea that he hit it and he came back for it all those years later, that was cool. I'll give him that. So I panned it out. It panned out for me.
There were parts in there where I was like, and I think they edited them so it doesn't even make it sense there. But it's like, I think part of it I didn't like. Also, I didn't like as much his take on the Doctor, but that was just my own personal gripe because I kind of liked Loomis.
Agreed. Agreed. His Loomis was a douchebag.
I kind of like that. So that was only that's my own opinion, though. That's what I said. And that's why.
But it's true though. It's not even necessarily an opinion. It's kind of a fact. His Loomis was a douchebag. He was manipulating Michael Myers for a monetary. He wanted to write a book. His intention really may or may not. It was open-ended. It may or may not have been to help the kid, but it was 1,000,000% to write and sell a book.
In a sense, what you said though, from Carpenter saying make it his own, he did.
He did, and I thought that's why I hold it up high, and I think it's a great movie on its own.
There's reasons why, like you said. So yeah, I guess it makes sense now.
Right. It's just that I hope going back to the other shit. I hope that Marvel isn't trying to be so caught up in demographic numbers that they lose. I'm trying to word this properly. I'm hoping that Marvel doesn't become so caught up in a demographic and a pie chart, and they kind of lose their way and on what made characters. because something seems to be popping in a certain demographic. They full stock into that instead of staying the course and fleshing out characters that could be stay true to their origin, but done in a 2020 flair. I think I stand by myself. If I stand by myself, that's fine. But I think myself, I would be more interested in seeing that than all of these different incarnations of characters or people's children going on to, you know, carry the legacy or the back. Like most of the guys planned for DC of this new arc that's supposed to still be in full production of all of these characters that are like the descendants from Superman, Batman, Hawkman, Wonder Woman, so on and so forth. Maybe one of them. I don't think any of them are the original people you and I grew up with.
It's weird because it goes about people like saying then it makes a character that new that you never heard of, and it doesn't make it the same. Like, you know, because everybody's like, don't just keep remaking the same movies.
Agreed. But there are ways and there are storylines.
There's storylines and characters that are already there. There's storylines and characters of people. Yes, again.
I was like, you jammed. Yes.
Yes. No, it said there's storyline and characters of people that are there that they haven't even dove into. We talked about like Moon Knight and different people.
Yeah.
Talk about these people, which are different.
And that's the use. And that's the craziness, because there is a layer of characters that aren't really that deep. Like you don't have to dig super deep to find them. Like Moon Knight, great example. And what a great character that a lot of people really don't know. I had no idea that he had multiple personalities. I had no idea that he was like schizophrenic, and he'll be in full Moon Knight garb fighting a mission and then snap and be a completely different personality in the fucking costume and still fight. That is like, oh my God, why did you not make that movie? That's the killer movie.
That makes the horror crazy movie. And, you know, that does make it jump over for him because he is insane too.
But in the same sense, he's kind of like Marvel's Batman. He's a little playboy with all this money, and he goes out in the night as a vigilante. So, I mean, you got a lot of recipes for like home runs all across the board. This changing personality thing, though, that's completely original, and no one's seen that coming.
Yeah, that's why you make it horror-esque instead, and that's what makes it more entertaining. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, because he's so violently brutal. Like he doesn't give a fuck. I think there's so many elements of why Moon Knight is such a fan favorite. People put him up there with like Nightwing and Deadpool. Like he is, and Deadpool.
I mean, like I said, but they have expanded on some of the people. Like they went into Iron Fist and they got fucking, they got Power Man, but they could have easily made these characters the way they made them inside their arc.
That's what it was too. Rob Liefeld was going off because like because like the next wave of Marvel's plan is Shang Tsung and something else. I can't remember what the fuck it was. But he just went off. He went off on it. He's like basically like nobody wants to see that, or if you think that's gonna hold the flagship down, you're sadly mistaken. Like he just went off on this tear about just
isn't it Mandarin? It's Mandarin, right?
Mandarin, I thought was Iron Man's nemesis.
But I'm pretty sure I thought that's who they're talking about. Isn't it the 10 Rings? Is that what they're talking about?
Oh yeah, for Shang Tsung's villain? No, you know what? I think it's something called here we go again. Here goes make it up with Jamie. I think it's like Tiger Ghost or something. I could be confused with Brother Voodoo, because I know that's another one that's been in talks for a great while about having some sort of, again, like they're going for like obscure gold that may or may not have been hot and heavy in the late 70s, early 80s, that they think all of these kids, who they're absolutely right, have no fucking clue who any of these people are. And when you serve up that, and even when you say Mandarin, people are like a fucking orange.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because how they presented the Mandarin in the Tony Stark, the movies and all that shit, it was like it was a fucking joke. So, like, again, the perception of what the mass knows is
classic Tiger Ghost. Fuck yeah.
Was I right?
Tiger Ghost is great.
Oh, my make-em ups? Yes, dude. We need a t-shirt with Tiger Ghost on it. We're gonna actually draw Tiger Ghost. gonna be the fucking. Well, your show is gonna have mad mascots. He's gonna have all the ad icons. Fuck yeah, Tiger Ghost in this.
Oh yeah, that's great. Hell yeah,
that's it. Well, fucking, I don't know. It's
like
been another great episode.
This motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, man. May 30th. I'm gonna say it. That's gonna be last. I'm gonna say May 30th.
May 30th.
Free preview.
Free.
Astronomicon's YouTube channel. Take pictures, videos of yourself on the couch watching it. Tag, hashtag, put them up, post them online. Get for the art, for the regram and all the goodness. And
it's going down. Come see us. Come see me. Come see this dude right here.
It's true. Come see us because we put it down for y'all, and I think y'all gonna enjoy it. I'm very, very certain that you will be extremely surprised for what your eyes and ears will behold for you on May 30th. So do not miss out on all the participatables because they're absolutely free. Right. And if you don't, it's just on you.
It's free.
So 2 words, Tiger Ghost. 2 more, he froze.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, though. Real.
All right, and my last
next
2.
Week, we'll be back again.
All right. Y'all have a good one, man. Thanks, Blaine.